Alors, pour le Mali, je vais prier, implorer la bénédiction, les bénédictions et la miséricorde d'Allah. Parce que je suis musulmane. Vous dites Sophie, mais c'est Maryam que vous avez devant vous. De colère? Contre qui? Non, ça va me faire du mal d'avoir la colère. Non, 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 non. Ma place, donc on me rassure, et c'est mon fils donc j'y crois, que tout va bien. Mais il faut quand même que j'aille jeter un œil juste et le saluer, parce que j'ai pris cet engagement. Si vous prenez un engagement, allez au bout de votre engagement, sinon vous aurez perdu votre raison d'être sur cette terre.
2. Mr. Macron, from Petronin. Mr. Macron. Greetings to those who are subject to guidance. I learned that you were in awe of how Sophie Petronin, a Catholic Christian French woman, from a pure white race, was captured by Muslims, for 4 years after the age of 75, became a Muslim. Let me explain the situation to you. Dear Mr. Macron. Yes, I was captured by Muslims. They never harmed me. Their behavior towards me was always in a measured and respectful framework. They were offering me food and drink. Despite their limited resources, they gave me priority. They respected my personal rights. I have not been subjected to any verbal or physical abuse. They did not swear at neither my religion, nor Jesus, nor Virgin Mary. Unlike you, swear at Prophet Muhammad. They didn't force me to be a Muslim, but I have seen Islam in the morals of people who are cleaned with water, pray to their Lord 5 times a day, and fast for a month of Ramadan. Dear Mr. Macron. Yes, Muslims in Mali are poor. Their country is also poor. They had no Eiffel Tower. Nor do they know about our French perfumes. But they are cleaner than our bodies and hearts. Yes, they don't have agile cars, neither do they sit in high skyscrapers, but their mind is above the clouds. Their beliefs are also more rooted than mountains. Dear Mr. Macron. Have you ever listened to the recitation of the Quran in your life? They recite the Quran in day and night prayers. What a beautiful reading it is, even if you don't understand what it means. While you listen to them, your body trembles, and your hairs shudder. They read the word of God, and protect it by memorizing it. Then you will understand, with your subconscious, that it is not a human word, but a celestial word, sent down from the skies. And you feel an overwhelming desire to understand what the celestial reading they read morning and evening. Dear Mr. Macron. Have you prostrated to the God, for once in your life? Did you touch your forehead to the ground, as they did, and communicate with your Lord, and thank Him for the blessings He gave you? Have you ever felt that you were near God, and that He was near you? Dear Mr. Macron. Their women's skin is black as coal, but their hearts are white like milk. They wear simple dresses, yet they are the most beautiful of the beautiful, in the eyes of men. They do not coexist with strangers, and are not alone with them. No man enters one of their houses without his husband. They do not drink, gamble, and do not adultery. Dear Mr. Macron. Muslims believe in all prophets. They even love Jesus more than us, and his mother Mary, whom I chose as a name for myself because they loved and respected her very much. Dear Mr. Macron. Maybe you will say, how do they love Jesus more than we do? Let me explain. Yes, They love Jesus more than we do. Our country has shed the blood of many innocents. In the name of Jesus, they have occupied their country and seized their wealth. We receive the blessings of those Muslims with the blessings of their countries and take away their sovereignty in various ways. We impose trade and consumption projects on them. We do not allow them to develop. We put strife between them. Then we sell them weapons to kill each other. And even though they understand that we are the real terrorist, not them, we still consider them terrorists. But they treated me and the other hostages with the messianic morality we learned in churches, but never actually practiced. Dear Mr. Macron, as a result, I did not declare my Islam in Mali, so that they would not say that they became a Muslim under pressure. I made the decision to declare my religion freely on French soil, to millions of French and Europeans. Dear Mr. Macron, this Islam, with which you waged war, day and night, made my heart tremble, and my mind was drawn. I no longer find France's fascinating beauties more attractive than humble poor Mali. Rather, I decided to go back there again. Only after I invited my family and loved ones to Islam. For, I want them to taste the pleasure that I have with the worship of Allah, who is not a God other than Himself, the compassionate and the merciful. I want the good of the world and the hereafter for them. I also invite you to Islam. I invite you to reconsider your deal with this supreme religion, which is the common cause of all prophets, began with Adam, continued with Jesus, and ended with Muhammad, who is the master of humankind. Greetings to those who are subject to guidance. Maryam Petronin.